Hi, it's the NLP Renegade. I want to talk about environment. I want to talk about the work and the environment that it takes place in. So it's important to not just be efficient at work, but to also know the environment that you're working in. I do believe that it's best to be well honed enough to be able to do anything in any environment. However, if you're having someone come to your office space should reflect the potential for change in some way. And I would suggest that it might transport them from their normal state of mind into a different state of mind simply by the paint you choose, the office furnishings, the decorations, and the various other things that are taking place in the office. This is all of it can lend to the notion that a person is capable of changing their state. If they're in a different state, they're capable of learning, and then of course you simply need to direct them to generalize whatever learnings they've got into whatever states they normally operate in. So a friend of mine has an acupuncture office in New York, and what she's done is she's taken a normal New York office and turned it into like an oriental haven. You walk in and there's a kimono on the wall, the bamboo decorations and things like this, and different types of music and a variety of other things that tell you that you're in another world. So even though you walk in off of the streets of Manhattan, once you're in the office, you're no longer in Manhattan. You're now in this unique setting in the middle of the city. And I would suggest that any office can be this type of an environment. That don't all need to be Oriental. Certainly they could be modern, ultra-modern, they could be post-modern, they could be even a classical or Elizabethan era type of furnishings or some other French provincial. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you allow your environment to assist you in doing the work so that you can enable someone to move from where they normally are into a new space. And then of course you can generalize from there. You can have, once they attain a state of mind, you can link that into other states of mind and you can help them to generalize whatever it is that they're doing. Because in NLP we consider all learning to be state specific, and yet state flexibility is a major component of NLP. So working on state flexibility is of course a good idea. Getting someone who's stuck because they're normally operating within a narrow band of experience in their daily life, and they've got certain things that are holding them back, you take them out of their normal experience. That in and of itself might be enough to communicate to the unconscious mind that the potential is there to do something completely different. And of course the potential to do something completely different at any given moment is always there. And the idea of using patterns and those patterns that have assisted us in so many ways, when they begin to hold us back, the pattern is not in charge. The consciousness and the unconscious that maintains the pattern is in charge. And it's just important to remember that. The conscious mind chose something that set the unconscious up in the pattern that it's in. This is one of the premises that NLP operates under. So having the conscious mind choosing something different will also communicate to the unconscious mind that something different is now desirable. So many NLP exercises are based on this very principle. In fact, pretty much all of the trail of techniques is based on this, whether it's the switch pattern or some sort of a collapse or parts integration pattern or a variety of other things. All these patterns take the conscious mind and give it through certain specific types of instructions, give the unconscious mind a new pattern to operate under. And then the unconscious can operate under that new pattern and or can generalize that into different areas and can keep its options open. And I was reminded of something earlier, that more options are not necessarily better. However, better options are better. So when we're working with the unconscious mind, the idea is not to simply provide it with more options, but rather to provide it with better options more often, and that's a more desirable way to get someone to begin to be able to do what it is that they want to do. So remember, outcome first, and then if you're going to use my persuasive techniques beyond that, it's the ABCs, which is acuity, sensory acuity, B, which is behavior, and C, which is content, and then D, which is direct. So pay attention to everything that's going on with yourself and the other person. Check your behavior, your body language, and your various other things, your rate of speech, and the other rapport things that go into that. Watch the content of what you say. So know that the content of what you're delivering is what needs to be delivered, that is also in harmony with the other person's model of the world, and then direct them, or in report terms, lead. So lead, because people love to follow. So it's up to us to lead. So do a good job.